We welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, brought to you by our friends at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use the box at sign up for 10 points. And here we go.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show that, man, it's just in the holiday season, only on the Sports Box Network. I am Hamilton Mike Galletta. Welcome to my partner in crime, Brian, the Ranger Attard, and this is Highly Opinionated. Hi, Brian.
Michael, how are you?
Oh, just living the dream out here. It is the holiday season, a lot to be festive about, but not if you're a Buccaneers fan.
I was going to say, how does your asshole feel today after that game?
Yeah, we'll get to that, and we'll get to a whole bunch of other things, I'm sure. Run down the NFL, some things going on in the NHL, and we'll talk about some other things, especially the comments are coming in on the Eagles already. So
that's good. Listen, it's a common topic on this show. We're not going to shy away from it, obviously.
We will talk about that and a little bit of a line in that game. But anyway, Brian, we'll talk about CrowdPlay.
Guys, thanks for watching the show tonight. As always, all shows on the Sports Box Network of this is the flagship. Remember that this is the number one show, always and forever will be, as it is the beginning of everything, the Highly Opinionated Show. It is brought to you by our friends over at CrowdPlay. Check the guys out. Free to play, Apple App Store, Google Play. Use THEBOX at sign up. Get 10 free points to get started with, and you will need them, but it is fun. Give it a shot.
Absolutely. So, Brian, in the holiday season, let's get to some nice treats for the NFL season. Let's talk NFL review.
Well, it's kind of funny. I mean, treats, right? I mean, so that was embarrassing. If you're an Eagles fan, of which I am not, so I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I am not either.
Another pretty non-competitive loss for the Eagles here, Mike. They fall to 3-7-1. Look, it's the same blame train we see all the time. It's the quarterback stinks. He has no help. The coach is an idiot. The GM's an asshole. Owner doesn't give a shit. Owner didn't even go to the game in Cleveland, we're finding out now, because he's that frustrated. Yep. So you watched the game. I know you had money in the game, and thankfully you had the line before the line went bad.
Exactly.
So just your take. I mean, it's the story that won't die, because it's the biggest story of the NFL right now. You're talking about a quarterback who realistically they're talking about doing something with the year before his extension starts. And I have my thoughts, but I want to hear yours.
Well, I know it came out today that they were going to pull the trigger and put Hurts in, because they said that Hurts was going around, hugging his teammates and talking to the coach. And it looked like it was pretty much a done deal from Elliott Shore-Parks, who was on 94 today. And right before the game, I'm not sure if it was Jeffrey Lurie or Roseman or whoever it was, they pulled the plug on it. They said, not right now. Listen, if you're not going to do it now, I know it's Seattle and it's a Monday night game. It's prime time. That's fine. But it doesn't get any easier, folks. You got Green Bay next week. You got the Cardinals after that. You got Washington and then the Cowboys, who are going to be probably fighting for the division. And there's not many games left. So, and I don't understand the whole Hurts rotation last night. I mean, you put him in for 2 plays, technically 3. One was called by a penalty. You handed him off and he threw a pass. What are you seeing in this guy that you need to put him in for 2 plays? You let him play the game at this point. This team is on a downward spiral. I know the offensive line is a mess. They're moving Jason Peters again. Lane Johnson's gone for the year. Their wide receivers are out. But you know what, Brian? I know the NFC East is like this too. I mean, you look at the records of the teams. They're all injury prone. You got COVID going around. I don't want to hear that the injuries, poor Eagles. Everybody in the league is going through this. And there's some teams that are playing really well through it and some teams playing really poor like the Eagles are. But this whole thing with Carson Wentz, we talked about this. I mean, you want to draft a quarterback in last year's draft. I got no problem with that. But drafting him that high that you did, knowing that you signed Carson Wentz to a 5-year deal and he's your guy moving forward, is kind of a tough pill to swallow because as many needs as they have right now, you kind of almost like passed on the pick with Jalen Hurts because you don't have a guy in the lineup that's going to do anything for you. You don't have a linebacker. You don't have another DB. You don't have a down lineman. You don't have anybody you could have picked at that slot and picked somebody later on to help you out now. And that's what I think hurts more than anything with the Jalen Hurts move. And like we talked about, I know you're a big cap guy on there. If they drop or release Wentz for some reason, that would be the dumbest move they could do with this big contract. I mean, we talked about a $28 to $30 million cap hit they're going to take on that. So they're caught in a rock and a hard place right now, and I don't know how you really get out of it. I guess you try to move him, but the way he's playing right now, you're not going to get as much value as you think you are. I'm going to go on record, and you know what? If it comes back to bite me, that's fine. There is a 0% chance that Carson Wentz is not on the Eagles roster next year. Okay, I agree with you. At the end of the day, this is a business. You are not going to pay somebody that much against your salary cap not to play for you. Okay. Right. And this whole thing about they need to put Jalen Hurts in. Listen, if Jalen Hurts was drafted in the 4th or the 5th round, nobody's talking about that. I agree.
The reason it's getting talked about is because he took him in the 2nd.
Yeah. Well, they had some glaring needs, and you took a guy that, okay, you expect to play maybe down the road. But you don't take them that high in the draft when you have needs. You could have got an offensive line. You could have got a receiver. You could have got a linebacker, a defensive back, a guy that can play now to help this team. Wouldn't have turned the season around, but it would help him now. Not a guy that's going to hold a clipboard and going to play 2 plays yesterday. And they looked so scrambled putting him in the game yesterday.
But that's the other thing, Mike. Look, okay, if you and me at home know that when this guy's on the field, they're going to run some stupid, idiotic play, then obviously so does the defense.
Yeah. I mean, there was a play yesterday where Wentz was in the game, Rieger was in the game, then all of a sudden Hurts came in the game, but then he went out because Wentz was in the game, and then Alshon came in, but Rieger was in there. Then you have to call timeout. I'm like, I don't know what is going on with Peterson right now, and I know that he has to get rid of the play calling. He is making some horrible play calls. 3 4th downs they went for yesterday, missed on 2 of them, and they were crucial. One, he could have kicked the field goal, been down a score, and the other one was a terrible play call, 4th and 7. They had no reason going for it in their own 42-yard line. So, and he says there's no problem. Yeah, I know. There's no problem, Doug. You got to get off your high horse, Doug, and give the play calling to somebody else. Maybe do Staley or something, but it's going to shit right now.
Well, okay, I again, Aunt Morella, Green Room host, very
love Hurts.
He is a devout worshiper at the Church of Jesus Hurts. Of Latter-day Saints, right? He's a big Jalen Hurts guy. Okay,
yeah.
So he went 6 to midnight hard when Hurts was taken by the Eagles at 53. So this was the future. They're moving away from Wentz, so on and so forth.
Yep.
I can lay out what I feel is a very likely set of events going on for the Eagles over the next 2 years, where it literally goes off the deep end. So follow me here, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong. I want you to tell me. I want to know. I want your honest opinion. So first and foremost, at the end of this season, the general manager and the coach will be bid adieu. You know,
I don't know about both, but I agree. At least one of them is going to get fired. At least, I think Doug's going to get fired because Doug sounds frustrated as hell right now. He sounds like he almost wants to get fired. So
okay. The general manager is number 1 who needs to get fired for this is the roster that he built.
I agree.
They stink at the bottom 5 roster in the NFL. Agree?
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. You look at JJ take a Whiteside over DK Metcalf. I mean, right there, that's number. They're not even close.
Sidney Jones over Joe Mixon, which if you take Joe Mixon, then the next year you don't take Sanders, you take somebody else there.
Yep.
the butterfly effect is real. So Howie and Doug go. New regime comes in. New regime gets next year with Wentz because you can't get rid of him right then and there because of the contract, right?
Yep.
The roster is a total disaster, doesn't get fixed within a year. So in 12 months or whatever the time frame is, Wentz gets somehow let go next offseason. The coaches bring in the guys that they want, right? Okay. Well, the two guys that are Jalen Hurts' biggest advocates in the organization are Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman, who are no longer there. All of a sudden, he ends up somewhere else. Carson Wentz, think of the teams that might need quarterbacks. Minnesota might need a quarterback. San Fran might need a quarterback. The Colts might need a quarterback in the next 2 years. Good spot for him to land, revitalizes his career. And all of a sudden, here the Eagles are with a brand new set of circumstances and a lot of cap problems.
Yep.
John, you got a long. It's going to block everybody's.
Man, you can't even see our faces. He laid that out.
It's in the comments if you want to see it. But
John,
the point is,
John, I love you, man. That's way too long.
He's not going anywhere.
No.
This fantasy of they're going to put Jalen Hurts in. In what business do you pay somebody their salary for to not play for you?
Listen, it's a way different pay schedule. But when they drafted Pumphrey, the running back. It took them 3 years to get rid of him, and he sucked the first year he came in. He was terrible. And it took them 3 years to finally say, you know what? We got to cut our losses because this guy stinks. They deactivated him so many games in the second year. It was unbelievable. And they couldn't swallow that pill anymore. You
know who was taken after Donnell Pumphrey in that draft?
Oh, God. Go ahead.
George Kittle.
Wow. That'd have been a bad move. Pick him up, right? I mean, they're just
Tom, which NFC East team will benefit the most from tanking? The Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. I agree. Yep.
The Dallas Cowboys. I need a high pick. I don't want to hear any of this nonsense. Good loss against the Redskins, whatever they call themselves. Good loss.
Well, I think they were right in that game. The defense fell apart at the end. They were on the field too long, I think.
Stinks.
My God. If anybody had Gibson, my God, you blew up. Ugh.
It's just
yeah.
Again.
And they got the Ravens this week, so that's.
But to be fair, we haven't talked about how good Seattle was. All right, so Russell Wilson's down 6-0, including the playoffs against the Eagles. That is the most by any quarterback without a loss against the Eagles since at least 1950s. 11-1 against teams with 3 or fewer wins in Week 10 or later since 2012.
DK had a bad game.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, so another Mensa member. Jim Schwartz says, "Oh yeah, I was in Detroit. Yeah, you don't remind me of Megatron. Yeah, sure. Just piss the guy off. That's intelligent. He doesn't like you because you skip them for a stiff."
Yeah, and he said it wasn't meant to be, derogatory. Yeah, okay, I know. Please.
Well, guess what?
Guess what? You know what you did? You tried to poke the bear to hope the bear ran away. Well, the bear took the ball and ran at you. That's what he did. 10 catches, 178 yards. I mean, that's unbelievable. And he probably should have caught another one. He dropped one in the end zone. But Slay got a little bit of a heat with him, and that just pissed him off too. I mean, the guy's a specimen. He's a creature. He's got great years to come. He really does, especially with a quarterback like Wilson. He
fell, man. And listen, a lot of teams regret it, and the Eagles are definitely one of them.
Lockett didn't have 3 catches.
I look at the situation. I'm again. Call me whatever you want to. I'm not blaming Carson Wentz for this. Because he's playing well? Absolutely not. I think he's in an impossible situation. He's in a situation where you don't even go get the guy help. You draft a quarterback in the second round.
That's the embarrassing thing. Instead of helping the guy out by getting him something, a weapon for him, you get him a quarterback to look over his shoulder at. And you can't get rid of him. You're gonna have Jalen Hurts sit there and do this crap for another year or two.
That was my favorite thing. Oh, we're gonna get Hurts more involved this week. He had 2 snaps.
Or they're gonna. They said they drafted him so that maybe they can move him down the road. Why would you draft a guy to try to move him? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It'd be cool if you get a 2nd round pick for him because you spent the 2nd round pick to get him.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's a disaster. Look, Howie got to go. Look, I don't care. I hate them, but Howie got to go. Doug got to go, and then eventually they'll move on from Carson anyway because it won't work out.
And listen, Eagles fans, I hate to say it, but this could be coming to a whole blow up. I mean, you might have to really blow up this team. I mean, because it's bad right now. It's a bad roster right now.
Listen. I'm going to repeat myself. They stink at drafting. They are not good.
Bad. Hey, Eileen. Yeah, it's a bad.
They are not good. They're not good at all. Not good at all. And I know since she just popped on, I know she's I guess she goes back and forth on Brady, but where were you on this one? Because I think. Thank you. I'm in full agreement with this. Full agreement with number one, him and Howie need to go pound sand. Yep. This was close. I think this game was not as close as the score would indicate. And it started out like a rout. And they were, to use Tony quickly, they were getting boat raced. And the Chiefs were having their way with them in the first half of this game. Tyreek Hill had 200 yards, 4.5. So, I mean, listen, we're going to go through the meme contest as part of this game. But look, Mike, we said the Bucs defense has to give them a shot.
Yeah.
Mahomes had almost 500 yards.
Well,
That's not the defense giving them a shot.
No, it was classic secondary fell apart for the Bucs, and I blame some wide receivers. I actually blame some key drops in this game. They dropped, but I'm going to blame Todd Bowles mainly because here's a guy who is a defensive specialist, and he's had that defense playing really well this year. I really got to give him credit. That secondary, who I thought was still learning and still going to be trouble, they actually were playing really good, but to put Carlton Davis on a guy like Tyreek Hill and give him no over the top with the safety help was an absolute embarrassment. You let that guy hang out to dry. He could have ran 7 or 8 more plays like he did, like Hail Marys. And like I told Brian before the show, personally, if I was out on that field and he did a flip at the 1 yard line, backflip in the end zone, I would run down the field wherever I was and stick my helmet in his back. That is totally embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. He basically gave the Bucs the finger and said, I will do whatever I want to you guys. No questions asked.
Stop.
Like I said, you could have put Manning Bunning in there, the rookie from Central Michigan, who's actually not playing that bad this year, who would have had more of a chance to put the safety over top, double team the guy because he's been tearing up the league, and you put single coverage on him with a guy who's normally a second on the depth chart. And that's how you got destroyed. You got destroyed by one guy. Basically, 259 yards.
Yeah, but that happens.
259 yards. He had almost 200 by halftime.
I know.
I know. Embarrassing. Totally embarrassing. And then when they got back in it. Brady took them down the field. Mike Evans scored 2 touchdowns. They got back into it. They had to make a stop on the last 2 downs. And for them to lose that last series on a Mahomes run was embarrassing too, because the linebackers went downfield.
Your general?
You know what? Listen, Eileen, I don't put it all on Brady's feet. I mean, the defense has got to stop people. I mean, I think I told you, Brian, if you remember coming into this game, that they have to slow them down. They can't get in a shootout war with Kansas City. It's not going to happen. The only way to beat them is you got to slow them down. And the Bucs defense, the way they've been playing this year, they could do that. But they put the wrong guy on the wrong guy, and it bit him in the ass. Bit them in the ass.
One thing that we did after this game was we said we're going to do a meme contest, and I posted
real quick, Thomas. No, it wasn't. I didn't have money on the game, so
no.
I'm just passionate because I'm a diehard.
No, because if you had the Bucs, you covered. It was 3.5.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, actually, I
would have bet the Bucs
in the preview. I was the only guy to pick the Bucs.
So we played the meme game. We posted a picture after the game, and we said, "Give us your best captions for this photograph, and we're going to make a meme out of the winner." Mm-hmm. And the photograph that we chose was this one of Mr. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Look at him. He looks so mad.
Oh yeah, he's ready to kill somebody.
I have. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 8 honorable mentions.
Wow.
And then a top 3. Honorable mention number 1 from Michael Bernard. I hope Brandon Gazzara still loves me. Brandon is definitely a Brady apologist.
Yeah, and a sports box guy here.
Yes,
so
one of the hosts we have on the show.
Yes.
Chris Bendick. If only I had more weapons.
No.
Listen. To be fair, Mike, he
got weapons.
He wanted Gronk and Brown. It ain't working out.
Yeah.
So you want to blame somebody.
Yeah. You
blame him. Armida Paradis. How can I blame this on 2020?
I like that. That's good.
I did like that one. Yeah. Justin Pierce. I'm still not calling him dad.
There's some good.
Listen, our fans are creative.
Yeah.
Ronnie Carter. Who put all the damn air in the balls?
Oh.
Rocco Usio, feeling deflated.
Mm.
That was good. Derek Paco Brady, I've made a terrible mistake. Last of the honorable mentions, John Esposito, should I shake his hand?
That's good. That's for the Rams game when he walked off the field. Very nice.
Yeah. Third place was Dakota Knoll from our friends over at What a Dump Hockey Talk. I'd like to speak to the manager.
I got third. Okay.
He looks so mad. He looks so mad.
Yeah. Oh,
Second place, Neil Escariel. Hey guys, so you're probably wondering how I got here. Like that little records, like
yeah.
And the winner with the most likes, and I really did like this one, from Eli Eulery. The face you make when going down to Florida for your golden years isn't all it's cracked up to be.
That is good. That is good.
So,
nice job, Eli.
I don't
nice
know if
job.
you're watching or not. We will be making this into a meme. We'll definitely give you full credit. We appreciate everybody who chimed in. A lot of good ones. And I just picked some of the better ones. I mean, they really were all very good. So I want to give credit to the people that follow the Sports Box, watch the Sports Box. There's Eileen. I need to not wear Giselle's thong next time. John looks like he's Karen waiting in line for his cigs in the top. He's had some good ones. The camera catches him at really inopportune times. So anyway, thanks everybody for submitting. Eli, we'll make sure we give you the credit for that one. Brady though is still the GOAT. Listen, the rings never go away. No. They never go away. So
listen, I'm not trying to make an excuse for him, but I will say after coming from a team for 20 years where you did your own thing and got very, very comfortable, it's got to be tough in his sense coming to a team like this, picking up timing, picking up this, picking up that.
Oh yeah.
And the defense not helping him out.
I dispute none of that. However, the Buccaneers are now 2 games back of the Saints with 5 to play. Is the division over?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
I think it is too.
Yeah, and I said up for the season, I think they would catch the Saints anyway. So I mean, I knew they were going to get. It's funny we said it before that the Bucs, the Brady in all his years in the playoffs, never been a wild card. Could be this year.
But the irony here, though, is like if the Bucs took care of business, I mean, everything was kind of falling in line for them with the injury to Breeze, and now you have a converted tight end playing quarterback.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. This would have
been a huge win. This would have been a huge win to knock this one out. Really big.
But I think I think they had to beat the Saints at least once, right? Because let's say that they did that, right? So then they would be, 8-4, and the Saints would be at least one off that.
I hate to say it, but what you said earlier about how good would Jalen Ramsey look right now? Jalen Ramsey would be covered.
I pounded the table for this. I'm not even that, and I'm not even necessarily saying Jamal Adams. But all I'm saying here is there is no reason they still had their first round pick. I'm sorry. This is an all in. If there's ever been an all in, because that clock's going to strike 12, and he's going to go. And
you got a quarterback with a shelf life of 2 years. That's pretty much it. So.
You know what? Maybe they'll go get Wentz in a year and a half.
Oh, God.
Stop. That would be a good idea. Listen to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, change of scenery always helps some people. So we'll see.
Yeah. This was a bit of a surprise for me. The Falcons beat the living daylights out of the Raiders, 43-6. The Falcons defense with 5+ takeaways and 5+ sacks for the first time since 2002. I was a senior in high school the last time this happened. So, for the Raiders here, are they a little bit fraud right now? I mean, they're down to 6-5. I mean, this was a team that had wild card aspirations. I know it's kind of clearing up in the AFC, but I mean, look, this is not a good Atlanta team, right? So I would look, you can lose this game, right? I'm fine with you losing this game. You can't lose 43-6.
No, they got handled. If the guy I played had Derek Carr in the fantasy league, he had -6. Didn't do anything, and they're good on the road. The Raiders actually they have a better road record than they do at home.
They do.
So I'm really surprised they got handled by an Atlanta team, which defense has played terrible most of the year, even when their coach left. But there must have been some kind of revenge factor for Atlanta because they really took the Raiders apart. I mean, they handled Josh Jacobs, they handled the receivers. Renfro got a couple catches, but nothing major. Aguilar disappeared. It was on the side of the milk carton. And they didn't have Julio Jones. Julio Jones got hurt.
Right. So you put up 43 without Julio Jones. Not even that. Atlanta defense, not good. 6 points.
Yeah. No, I think the Raiders are still in the thick of things. I don't know if they're going to be a wild card team. But I mean, they're still in the thick of it.
The defense is not really what it was last year. So they've allowed 30 points in seven games this year. Yeah. Only 5 all of last year. They weren't a very good team last year. So
yeah. I mean, you have Waller who's having a good year, but I mean, a lot of guys don't depend on their number one. Then they're tight end to be a number one receiver for them. So that's the only thing with them.
No, not yet.
Wagner's having a good year.
It's coming.
Yeah.
I'll give you a stat. You want to hear a stat?
Go ahead. Give it to me.
Matt Ryan, the 4th quarterback in NFL history with 3,000 plus passing yards in 12 of their first 13 seasons.
How many playoff games has he been to?
A couple, but nothing to show for it.
Amazing.
Can you guess any of the other 3? Again, 4th quarterback in NFL history with 3,000 plus passing yards in 12 of their first 13 years. And I'll give you a hint.
I'll say Drew Brees.
One is not Tom Brady.
Okay, I'll say Drew Brees.
No.
Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Wow.
You get one more strike before I give you the names.
I don't want to say Ben Roethlisberger.
No.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
Well, I'll say Patrick Mahomes.
No. 13 years. Not even close.
Oh, okay.
Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Brett Favre.
It's pretty good company. But what does he not have in common with them? They all actually went to playoff games and won.
They actually have Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, they do.
Super Bowl rings. Tommy, the Raiders on tilt. I mean, the Raiders aren't very good right now. They got to figure that out and quickly.
Could it be their coach?
No, you just don't like him.
He stinks. That's why.
You're the jilted ex-girlfriend.
The NFL has passed Gruden by.
You just don't like him.
Okay.
All right. Since Eileen asked so nicely, I'll move next to the Patriots. A 2017 win over the Cardinals. Mike, I said it to you Sunday. I said that -1 is a trap.
The line looked funny.
Look, I didn't bet it, but I said that's a trap.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals in this too. Me and Tony both like the Cardinals.
How could you not? Yeah. Right? But I said that is begging you. It is begging you to take a mortgage on your house and put it on Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Loss.
Defensively, the Patriots held them in check. I mean, they really slowed them down to a point where they could keep up with them. And, listen, it hasn't changed my attitude. Cam Newton still stinks. I'm not a big Cam Newton fan, but they really ran the ball well and got some passes off.
Career lows this year. 84 passing yards and a 23.6 passer rating.
Yeah.
No good.
You know what that is next year? That's right here.
That's free agency. Kyler Murray, no touchdown passes in a game for the first time since week 13 of 2019. He's been on fire. The shoulder, though, is that a concern now? He said it wasn't why, but they look like a very different team.
I don't think so. I mean, the Cardinals are still the Cardinals. I mean, I said it before. I don't think it was the whole thing with a running quarterback, but I think that a running quarterback kind of hurts a team sometimes because they like to try to make things happen.
How did I stop? I got to get the meme now. Damn it.
Star Wars, it's a trap.
I got to get it now. No, keep talking.
Listen, they still have Hopkins. They still got Drake. They're still a good team. That division, though, tightened up with the Rams losing a little bit. You're going to have a little bit of a logjam in there. But I mean, you still have some good teams in there. I think the Cardinals are all right. They could battle for that last wild card spot. I mean, their defense is a little suspect. That's all. I mean, their defense hasn't been the best consistency all year, but it's got to get a little bit better.
How did I not think of that? Hold on a second. It's happening. Wait. Keep talking. Are you concerned though? About Kyler, or is this gonna pass?
I thought he would take a step back this year, and to this point, he really has, and he's been a little bit better than last year. But maybe he is starting to take a step a little bit back this year, and have to catch up to the speed of the NFL. Well, they're figuring him out a little bit too. They're trying different things to slow him down and get him a little bit off center. So that could be it too. No, I don't think so. Not yet. Not the Cardinals. Nope. Defensively, yes, a little bit.
Playoff team? Because they're 6-5 now too. I mean, they,
maybe the last wild card. They're definitely there. It is. Maybe
it's a trap.
It's a trap. Maybe the last. We got to use that from now on. We can use.
I do got to keep that. I'm actually look. I full credit to Tom O'Neill. I didn't even think about that, and that makes me terrible because I always think about Star Wars.
Yeah, we owe you one for that. Thank you.
It's a trap.
I think Arizona could get the last spot, but their defense has to play a little bit better. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough in that division too.
They go as Kyler goes. All right, my fantasy team got destroyed because I have Kyler Murray. Like you planned for that, right? Yeah. So, it is what it is. They'll be okay. For the Pats, listen, keep screwing your draft pick up, bud. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
What did I tell you?
That's smart.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, but you could have had 2 picks in the first round, in the first top 10.
Sorry. Well, I mean.
Okay. You don't know how Drew Rosen would have did with this new system. I'm Josh. I'm sorry. Drew Rosen, the agent. The agent throwing balls out there.
Staying in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills moved to 8-3 with a 27-17 win over the Chargers. Since 2019, the Bills are 9-1 in games where Josh Allen has a pass or rushing touchdown in the first quarter, which he did in this one as well. Josh Allen, I know. Yes.
I think somebody on this station really was touting him for a while.
Man,
who was that?
You always do this to me. I don't have the Donald Duck.
And I got it. Herbert too, and he's having a damn good year. Well, he looks like he's going to have a good year, a good career.
I don't have the Donald Duck, so lucky for you, I'm not going to use the Donald Duck on you right now.
That's fine.
Sean McDermott 4-0. He won of 5 active head coaches to be undefeated following a bye. I guess maybe the new Andy Reid. Justin Herbert, though, listen, I said this before. I've talked to our friend Drew from The Buzz. In regards to the Chargers, big Charger fan, this year is not about winning games. He was very upset when he said the Chargers might win this one. Justin Herbert,
he's getting the year out of the way.
Herbert is hitting rarefied air here, right?
Yep.
He's joined Mahomes as the only player since 1950 with 3,000 plus passing yards in their first 10 career starts. Great numbers. He's tied Andrew Luck for the most games with a 300 plus passing yard game by a rookie in Super Bowl era. He's got more yards than Andrew Luck in his first 10 career games. I mean, this is some serious.
Well, it's a perfect situation too, Brian, because they've had running back issues where they haven't been able to run the ball effectively, and their defense isn't that good. So they've had to throw to get back into games, which is benefiting him because he's getting the speed of the NFL a little bit quicker than a normal rookie season. Although they're bad, normally rookie quarterbacks don't do well their first year. Take care, Eileen. So that's a benefit for him. He's really catching up to the speed of the game, which is going to help him down the road.
Garth Patrick, our boy from Sweet Tea, Friday nights, 9 o'clock. Check him and Noah out. Great stuff. Hoping to miss you guys cover the Chargers. No, we're doing it right now. Anthony Lynn's got to go. Terrible coaching last week. Lack of winning culture at this point is on him. The roster is there. Garth,
if Tyrod Taylor doesn't get accidentally punctured his lung, Herbert doesn't play the entire year, I bet. And Tyrod Taylor plays the year.
Garth, here's where I'm going to disagree with you, right? I said this coming in. Lose this year. Get him more help. They're not going to look. First of all, they were never going to make the playoffs this year in that AFC with a rookie. It wasn't going to happen. The fact that he's playing so well should make you really super bullish for the next couple of years to come because you have that now. That piece of the puzzle is complete.
Yeah.
So,
John Suggs has an interesting question, and I say I would believe yes, he will. But he's talking about Burrow sitting next year. That injury was a bad injury. Supposedly he had a ACL, MCL, and then some structural damage to his knee. So they're saying 9 to 12 months. So he might be gone anyway. And let me ask you this. If he's ready in November, do you bring him back? I don't. I
mean, the kid's got to play, Mike.
The kid's a franchise guy. You can't get him hurt again. He gets hurt again if there's your guy. If he's ready in November, Brian, I don't. If he's ready in September, well, then you think about it. But he's ready in November, I don't think about putting him in. I let him get 100% healthy, follow up the next year, get him totally ready, 100% strong. Then you put him in there.
We'll touch on it, I guess, during the break recap of that game. But look, Chargers can lose games. It's fine. They're going to have no better than 500. I think they're going to be worse than 500. Go get more help for him. You got your quarterback.
Absolutely.
Listen, you get high enough, some team wants to bowl you over for Justin Fields. All day, baby. All day. Pile up the picks, and that's what you do.
I think the best move for the Chargers is either go defense or go offensive line and protect your investment.
We mentioned this just now. Giants go with 2-point win over the Bengals. They move to 4-7. They actually lead the NFC East. Figure that out. Bengals 2-8-1. We mentioned about Burrow getting hurt, but Daniel Jones is going to miss time due to injury. So we'll see where the Giants end up.
Colt McCoy. Ugh. How bad is that?
Division's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, well,
Listen,
Jordan division lead.
if Burrow, look, if Burrow's healthy enough to play him. If he's not, don't. I'm not going to redshirt him just because. Well,
I think that's under the circumstances, that's a very bad injury. I mean, it's not like you just have an ACL and you can get back.
Tom, I don't know what this is in reference to. What do you mean by
that? Probably Burrow, because he asked about Burrow sitting. Oh no, what am I saying, Tom? Yeah, I don't know what that is.
If he means Burrow, I mean, maybe they keep him on IR, but you can't just fake an injury. You know, like you can't be like, oh yeah, you're hurt.
Well, he'll start the year on the unable to perform list if they're even thinking about putting him in. They'll put him on a PUP list, and then they can try to pull him off.
But you got to play.
That's a bad injury, Brian. For a guy like that you drafted number 1 overall, who looks like he's got promise,
you don't get better by not playing.
Well, they're not going to be good that next year either, unless they get a lot of phenomenal drafts. They get.
I'm not going to dispute that. You don't get better by not playing.
I understand, but you're possibly going to hurt your franchise guy.
If he's healthy, play. If he's not, don't rush him back.
I think you got to look at the scenario. You got to look how he's going to be. If he's he's pushing to get back and they clear him, everything is good, and then maybe you get him in for a little bit here and there. I don't know. I think you treat him with kid gloves right now. That's a bad injury. It's not just an MCL. He did structural damage. He did ACL, MCL. He pretty much tore apart his knee is what he did. So,
if Gilmore goes to free agency, he gets paid by somebody.
He will. He'll go to free agency.
He'll get paid by somebody. I mean, the numbers don't lie, right?
Hell yeah. Yeah, he'll get paid by somebody.
The numbers don't lie. Who wins the NFC East?
I originally said the Giants. God, can Washington win this division? Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you want to say the Redskins if they can pull it together defensively. They're a good team on defense. They just have a struggle on offense. But they've been actually playing good the last couple of weeks. I mean, a big win on Thanksgiving. Previous week, I would probably put the hands-on favors of Washington right now.
Let's play a schedule game. They go to Pittsburgh.
Okay, that's going to be a tricky game. They could be the first ones to beat Pittsburgh, believe it or not.
Loss. Yeah. They go
to beat them.
They go to San Francisco.
No, so that's a loss.
Host Seattle.
That's a loss.
Host Panthers.
That's a win.
Go to Philly.
That's a win.
So you got 2 more wins there.
Yeah, 6 wins. They probably win the division.
If the Giants don't have Daniel Jones, I mean, it's fair.
Yeah. I mean, the only other one to win is Giants. The Eagles ain't winning the division because the Eagles have the Green Bay Packers this week in Green Bay. Then they play the Cardinals, who are going to be battling to stay in the playoff hunt. Then they have Washington, then they have the Cowboys. Then they have Washington.
You want to know what I think about? This is me thinking about the Eagles' schedule right now because they're going to lose a lot of games.
Yeah, well, when you got a first place schedule,
which NFC team misses? I put everybody in the West in 2 wild cards there. The third wild card would be
Bucks.
The Bucks. So Minnesota and Chicago, I guess.
Oh, Chicago, I don't think gets in.
No. I'm saying so who doesn't get in? I think Minnesota, whoever that second place team in the North becomes a team.
Yeah, I'd say Minnesota then, if that's the case.
Yeah, I think Chicago.
Minnesota's actually starting to play really good right now. They're putting something together.
I think Chicago stinks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Minnesota has to almost run the table to get in and things will happen.
Yep. They're coming up. Actually, they're coming up right now. So, yeah, they get a win, 28-27.
I mean, they got to get 9 wins to get in probably.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of room for error. No. So, and again, that's their schedule the rest of the way, right? So, they'll beat Jacksonville, they'll lose to Tampa, they'll beat Chicago. They're going to end up 8-8, I think.
And they could now. They might steal that last wild card. I don't know. That's going to be if the Bucks falter.
They could end up 9-7 actually, which is kind of crazy when you think about how bad they were.
Oh, bad in the beginning.
Because I don't think they beat Tampa Bay, but they can beat the Saints if the Saints have Taysom Hill quarterback.
They get a wild card. They win a first round playoff. Is Cousins back?
Cousins will play. What are you talking about?
No, next year.
No. Well, yeah, he's under contract.
Oh, I thought he was done after the show.
They gave him a deal.
Okay.
How about Jeremy Chin in this game? First player since at least 1991.
Double
2
chin.
offensive touchdowns on 2 consecutive plays.
Talk about a double chin. I mean,
yeah. See, you know what? Every once in a while,
Every once in a while,
you get a good one. I give you the high marks on that one.
I'm good for another 4 years now. So,
so if the Eagles could redraft this year, do you think they would take Jalen Reagor or Justin Jefferson?
I'm going to say Jefferson.
Yeah, it's close, right?
Yeah, where's all this separation I hear from Reagor? They always think they're outsmarting people. They always think they're outsmarting people. Like, we weren't taking Jefferson because he's everybody's pick. We want to take a different guy. Let's go to BYU and take him.
So stupid. Pat, listen again. Look, the Panthers.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm on record losing is winning. Okay, so don't think it would matter. No, Paul, maybe not. It might not matter, but you know what? When the guy you skip over looks as good as he does, you kind of like, well, I think we screwed that up.
The problem.
Listen, tell you what. And I haven't done this. I'm working on it, and I'm working on a 53-man roster of guys the Eagles skipped on. Like guys that they were taking like 10 within the last 10, 15 picks after them. It's actually amazing when you see some of these names. But again, let's just say they take Metcalf and Justin Jefferson. What's this offense look like?
Well,
they could have taken them both.
I was going to talk about the Panthers game. I think Matt Rule's done a good job with them, but in the same sense, they're 4-8. They're not winning a lot. They're going to have a top 10, top 12 pick. It's fine. That's fine. Start building. Make your team. This is your team now. The only problem with the Panthers is they're very, very, very heavily dependent on McCaffrey, and you see what happens when he's out of the lineup. Mm-hmm. That's a problem. You really got to get this team more balanced and make McCaffrey not only your best player, but you don't really depend on him as much as they do right now. I mean, yes, he's a good player, great player, makes a lot of things happen, but to be a good team in the NFL, you got to have balance on your team, and he's the weapon that everybody looks for. And when he's not there, they're an average team. So
Justin Jefferson is the best receiver on the Vikings.
Yes. Thielen's up there, but Jefferson, yeah.
That's my hot take.
Okay.
Better than Thielen. Now, currently, today is better than Thielen. So imagine where he goes. Kid's good.
Oh, yeah, he's got skill. Yeah, first 3 games you didn't see that, but then he's really caught on to the game. He's really picked up the slack.
Again, Minnesota, they need a lot of things to go their way this weekend into the wild card, which they probably get their asses destroyed in the playoffs anyway. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting, right, is what if they do sneak in and the Saints keep that 1 seed and they play them right again? So you're talking about a Vikings team who beat them last year in the playoffs, mm-hmm. who would have potentially in this scenario beaten them in week 16. Can the
Saints get snake bit again? They got screwed last year with the Rudolph catch, and before that with the catch of Diggs, and oh god.
What my biggest statement game of the week was Tennessee. Tennessee with a 45-26 win over the Colts. They take the lead in the AFC South, and they owed them one after the game a couple Thursdays ago, where they went into where the Colts went into Tennessee, and they started off the second half on fire and won that game. This was a big win. This is a monumental win. No team had a bigger win this week, in my opinion.
By the way, Brian, the Colts, the number 2 rushing defense in the league. Yeah, Derrick Henry ran for 148.
Gashed. 178.
Oh, I'm sorry. 178. Sorry.
3 touchdowns. Became the 5th player in the last 30 years, 130-plus rushing yards and 3 years in touchdowns first half of a game.
He had 3 touchdowns by halftime.
That's good. Those are good numbers.
Had him in my fantasy league. So
hey, you know what's kind of funny? Do you remember when he was drafted, who actually went before him in that draft?
Ezekiel?
He did. And, it's funny because if the Cowboys had taken a guy like, I don't know, Jalen Ramsey at 4, you could have taken Derrick Henry in the 2nd round instead of an injured linebacker.
Well, I know it's a extreme case, but would you pay McCaffrey?
Again, it's when you here the problem when you take a running back that early is you have to. Mm-hmm. You force yourself into it.
Yeah.
You don't give up on the sunk cost.
Yeah.
Little dap here. Little dap here from.
I did pass Frank this morning, so.
Brisk.
Thanks, Frank.
Power walk.
Yeah.
Kind of inspiring. Thanks, Frank. Always love you missing the show. Listen, we'll play some cards again. I don't know, some point.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. We love you, pal.
Miss Frank. Frank's in there.
Yeah.
Frank the Tank. Listen, like I said, this was just big. It's big for Tennessee. If they win this division, and I think this puts them in the driver's seat to do it, you can't hate that. I mean, this is a really, 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 really big win. First time that Tennessee has defeated them on the road in consecutive games there since 88 and 92. And they weren't even division rivals back then. No, Titans now 13-0 when scoring 20-plus points in the first half.
We do have something magical in week 12, Brian. T.Y. Hilton got his first touchdown this week.
On my fantasy bench, and I just picked him up off waivers.
I had him. I dropped him. I drafted him 3rd round this year. He's dropped him already.
The Giants now.
Yes, I agree.
Only because I think they're trying to make the playoffs. I don't think Dallas is.
Somebody's got to win it.
I don't.
Somebody's got to win it.
See, Garth brings the good questions. Who is left on the Titans?
They have another division game this week, I thought. Another tough division.
Their division stinks. All right, so let's play. All right, so what? What I say? They're at 8 wins, right? 8-3.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's play it again. They host the Browns.
Oh, the Browns. Okay, that's a win.
9. They go to Jacksonville. 10.
That's a win. Yeah.
They host the Lions. 11.
That's a win.
They go to Green Bay. 11. They go to Houston. 12. They're going to win 12 games.
You think they're going to beat Green Bay?
No, then they're going to beat Houston.
Oh, okay.
They have 5 games left, and they win 4 of them. They'll lose to
Green Bay.
The losses to Green Bay. So if that's the case, Colts got to win out. That ain't going to – well.
No, they're winning the division. They're pulling away from the division.
Hold on a second here. So who
the Colts have?
Colts schedule. At Houston.
That's a loss.
No, it's not.
Okay.
They just lost Will Fuller for the year now, suspension.
That's true. Yeah, all right, I'll give them the win. All right.
At the Raiders.
That's a win.
Okay. Hosting Houston.
Are you saying sweep the series? Okay.
They're at Pittsburgh.
You think Pittsburgh's going to go undefeated, so I'll say loss.
And then they host the Jaguars.
That's a win.
Okay. It's going to come down to if the Colts can beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, then.
I think Pittsburgh's going to have a loss by then, but yeah, I mean, I think they could. Yeah, they could. Mm-hmm. That's Colts defense is feeling a little bit. They're keeping them in games and hanging around.
The division is not done yet. Tennessee can't slip up, but right now,
they're doing it without Jonathan Taylor. So
it's fair. Colts can win. Definitely not over yet. Colts will win about the same. Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. And again, you put these teams 10, 11 wins, they're all going to get in. By hook or by crook, they're going to get in. There you go. And I'm saying that's the game. Mm-hmm. That's the game that I think if they come to play that game and Pittsburgh's not, listen, look, I don't dislike Pittsburgh. Don't get me wrong. I think they're a good team. That's a hollow 10-0. I'm sorry. Like, I don't, serious question. Are the Texans a real story or just a story? Well, Monarchs 9 on Twitter. We appreciate you watching the show. I guess I don't know what you mean by that because I think they're a one-player team right now. And I think their record indicates that.
And I think that hurt with Will Fuller. That really did. I mean, he was having a good year.
It did. And Brandon was joking around with me that it was that the Dolphins sent the PEDs to him because they wanted Houston to start losing games so they get their draft pick higher. Yeah. That's fallen out of the top 10.
Yeah.
Monarchs, it doesn't just clarify what you mean by that. I'm very happy to answer your question, but just what you mean specifically on that. We're happy to give you our thoughts there. Yeah. John Suggs Rivers throws three interceptions in a game they should win.
Yeah, Rivers is the most consistent guy in the world. But he's not hurting them. He's making good plays though. So
better than I thought he was going to play, right? I mean, I'm not a Rivers guy.
You hated him after week 3. So
did I lose money week 3? I probably lost money week 3.
Probably, yeah, probably.
But we're talking about teams that stink.
The bet of the week. Listen, they keep on losing. Keep on losing. Yeah. I want the Bucs to have somebody they can look up to.
So the question is, do you fire Gase? Absolutely not.
No.
You get the 1 pick first, then you send him packing.
No, you might give him an extension. Give him a 1-year extension.
Oh, the PED story. Do you think there's something? No, I believe they tested positive for it. Listen, that's another thing too. I do not care what you test positive for. Okay. You are a very well-paid athlete. Mm-hmm. You want to take a supplement? Go to the league. Hey, can I take this? No? Cool. Thanks. Oh, I can? Awesome. You test positive for something, they pop you? You told me I could take it. What the hell? They don't think. So again, either A, you are lying and you took something that you knew you shouldn't have been taking, or B, you weren't smart enough to ask the league, hey, can I take this? Because
I'm going to say it was his fault to try to get away with it.
Absolutely. Oh, everybody's always so apologetic. Oh, you know,
and not for nothing. In these days, with the chemists in this country and everywhere, there's stuff that can mask this stuff all the time, so they think they can get away with murder. So a lot of guys in the league, I'm sure, do this and mask it and get away with it. But there's other guys like Will Fuller that get caught.
Look, Frank comes in with fire tonight.
Wizinator, yeah.
How about that? Listen, we need more Frank Foy on the show. It just comes with
we do need more Frank Foy. We need a special guest Frank Foy to come on the show.
You can come on. Gay stays till the end. I agree. Why ruin a good thing? Go get your quarterback.
Go want to win.
Your quarterback.
Every loss is more angle to Trevor Lawrence.
See, you're coming over to my side. It's tank season, baby.
It's not coming over. The Jets stink. The Jets are bad. Bad.
And Joe with a great point here. Could have lost to Dallas. Could have lost to Baltimore.
Funny thing was they had Flacco in there and they went to Darnold and they didn't skip a beat. It's funny.
It's complete, and completely. And then trainers want them to succeed. They also get paid. Totally. No, listen, absolutely. But if I'm a player making millions of dollars, I'm not going to risk this.
Yeah, you go further in the playoffs, it's more money than the whole team gets. So why not?
John Slick saying the Jets beat the Pats last game of the year. You know why, right?
That would be great.
Because the Pats will let no. The Bills will let them win.
Oh,
Bill will try his best to screw them.
Oh, yeah.
How about Bill? I'll tell you what, if that happens, me and John said it just now.
You might have to go heavy on the money line. We might have to go heavy on money line that last game.
0-15, right? And the Jags were 1-15. They finish, and then Bill just lets them win.
And that's the game that gets them into the playoffs they need, and they lose to the Jets.
Tom Scavetta, Pittsburgh loss will call it before a Jets win. Yeah, probably.
Probably. They could lose this week to the Redskins, believe it or not.
Yeah, first of all, this is the first in history of this show that we're doing a Tuesday night show, and the week's not over yet.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's talk about this, right? We're going to get to the Steelers, but I watch real quick. So, where do the Steelers lose? They got Baltimore tomorrow night. That's a win. I'm sorry. They're not going to lose that game.
Ravens need that game more than they do, though.
They do, but they're hurt.
They don't have a lot of key players in, but they still need that game more than they do.
They beat Washington.
Well, I mean, strange things got to look. Seattle should have came in and just tore the Eagles apart.
There are
more than they did.
There are 2 games the Steelers can lose. The first is Week 14 in Buffalo,
and then the Tennessee game.
They'll play Tennessee.
I mean, the Colts.
Yeah, those are the 2 to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
It's a new name to the show. Appreciate you watching, Tom. Give us a like on the page. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
Gase is going to stay. Dolphins. So again, it's going to come to there's John Seals and the Bills. There's where are you on Miami right now? They got a win that obviously they were going to win, but they lost last week to Denver. Are you in on Miami? Are you not in on Miami?
No, I'm in on Miami. Their defense is playing well. Nobody's really talking about the Miami defense. They're really
everybody's got Buffalo over. I want to see the spread for that game.
Yeah, and listen, and the Dolphins, everybody's talking about the offense and Tua and something like that. Listen, that defense is playing well right now. You got to give them credit. Brian Flores has done a nice job down there doing his thing and really getting this team the way he wants it. I mean, he's got his quarterback in Tua. And when he gets healthy, he's back in there. But this defense has really played well. Just kept them in it.
Caleb is my favorite Jets fan in the Carolinas. Might be the only one, but he's definitely my favorite.
It's like I'm the only Bucs guy in the Northeast.
And him and me, look, we're right here. You lose every game. Winning.
That's why they're keeping Gase. That's why they're keeping Gase. Why would you get rid of him? Give him a vote of confidence.
You know what's kind of funny? Let me flip that back. If you're an Eagles fan, right? Why you fire anybody right now?
No, it's true. True. Lose the rest of the season.
Lose.
Yeah, 3-12-1.
Okay. Figure it out later. This doesn't mean, dude, I love these people. I got people in Cowboys groups. Oh, all I want for Christmas is 4 wins in December. Holy shit. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
3-12-1 will probably get you a top 4 pick.
Wait a minute. No. Listen, Cowboys fans. I hope Santa brings me 4 wins in December. Go kill yourself. Seriously, that's ridiculous. I will stab you. No, lose.
At this point, yeah, you got nothing to gain at this point.
Kidding me? No. Wait, yeah, sure. Go get Andy Dalton with some stupid goddamn games for no purpose. I hate people. God, I hate people.
Wow, the anger lives.
It's annoying, Mike. Mike, it's annoying.
Yeah, it's fine.
Lose. Dolphins are a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree.
Cleveland, for the first time since 2007, will not have a losing record.
Worst 8-3 team in the league. That sounds dumb, but they're taking advantage. They're taking advantage of a last place schedule.
But Bengals had a last place schedule.
All right, third place schedule. They're a bad schedule.
One pick, right?
They got an easy schedule in the league. It's probably one of the top 8 easy schedules in the league, probably.
But here's what I'll tell you though. In a weird way, they're really kind of built okay for the playoffs because they can run the ball, they can defend pretty well.
Well, Chubb's a beast.
So let's say, hold on. So tank for what? How'd that work out for them? For who? Who are we? Wait.
Yeah, who we tank?
Who? What team?
Maybe the Jets.
We were talking about a bunch of teams to tank there. So just John, which team? And I'll clarify.
Clarify, John. Yeah, clarify a little bit.
Jets. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fire people when it helps you.
Yep. Not
now. Frank posted a GIF in the watch party of Aaron Rodgers. It's fantastic. Listen, the Browns are not good. Look, the problem with the Browns is that in our minds, they're the Browns, right? So everything that they do is not going to end well. Like if you took the group of players, picked them up and dropped them on some team in Portland, Oregon, it's different. But they're the Cleveland Browns. So automatically, I
will tell you this about the Browns. I'll tell you this about the Browns. If the Browns do make the playoffs, I will guarantee I will take the other team, whatever the spread is, and they will cover.
So he's telling me only 5 teams had winless years: the Cowboys, the Bucs. Okay, well, right, but Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck.
Yes,
you need a quarterback to contend. Look at how good Burrow was, how good Justin Herbert has been. I mean, to be fair, are we keeping you awake?
I know. I'm yawning. I always yawn. Baker stinks.
He does.
Chubb's a beast. They got a 1-2 punch with Chubb and Kareem. So Kareem Hunt. So.
Frank Foy in the watch party. Packers locker room doped up Favre continues to drug Rodgers. I guess it's a staff and office gets the players.
Well, Rodgers is doing this because he's going to ask to get traded next year. So
that stupid draft pick.
Dumb.
Jaguars take Fields. Lock and a half.
They should take Fields. Yeah, they should. I agree.
Browns make a playoffs.
Yeah, they make the wild card maybe. The 8-3 should, unless they totally collapse. They should.
I'll tell you what.
Their schedule is weak, isn't it?
If Baltimore loses tomorrow night.
Oh God, could they win the division?
They're a full.
No, I'm not saying Pittsburgh's in the division.
They're in the same spot that the Bucs are with the Saints. 2 games up with 5 to go.
Yeah.
Be careful. Hey, this was funny, right? So
you see that.
There are some numbers here in this game, right?
He was 1 of 9, Brian, and they ran the ball 33 times in this game.
9 completions, 9 attempts.
9 throws he had. That's it.
1 pass.
And 2 picks.
1 more than you.
Yeah, 2 picks.
What's John talking about? Tebow? All right, so Mariota was a 2nd overall pick. Tebow was like 25th.
Yeah, he was in the 2nd round. No, that's right. He was the end of the 1st round. That's right. He was the end of the 1st round. He got taken ahead of Des Bryant, if you remember that. And Josh McDaniels was like, so full of himself. He took fucking Tebow. Well, they were all giddy in this game with Denver driving the first 30 down the field and they kicked the field goal. They were all excited. Yeah. Then after that, how do you do? Nothing.
So I'll ask you. So I'll ask this question now before we get into. Was it fair for the league to push back the Ravens game, but not the Broncos?
It was very unfair.
Go on.
Because you've pushed the Pittsburgh game 3 times now, hoping that some of these guys will get healthy so you'd have a good game. But yet 3 quarterbacks go down for the Broncos and you let them keep the game going and let a wide receiver start a quarterback. How good is that for the league?
Here's where I'll disagree with you. It is not the pushing of the Ravens game over and over and over again is because
they had upcoming games coming up on certain days.
No, it had nothing to do with the games. and everything to do with the fact that COVID was rampant on the team. They kept getting positive tests and positive tests.
Right. We talked about this. They have to slow down the spread. Right.
They couldn't contain it.
Right. But when, in the same situation, now I understand you're slowing the spread. You got 3 quarterbacks out.
Doesn't matter. It is not a competitive thing.
Wow.
They don't care.
That's not being fair to the Broncos.
Hold on a minute, though. Again, for the Broncos, they identified Driscoll had COVID. They identified the other 3 quarterbacks as the ones that were the close contacts.
High risk.
And nobody else.
Right.
So you could carve that out of the roster and still play your game.
But you could have given them a day to find a quarterback.
Again, I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it, and you're not gonna.
It was like a bye week for the Saints. I mean,
listen. I don't dispute that.
And maybe it's because I'm a Buccaneers fan and you pulled it like you're in front of me. I mean,
I'm with you on that. But what I'm saying is the NFL identified it was just a quarterback room. Nobody else on the team was even at risk. With Baltimore, it was everybody. So you couldn't field a roster. It's not that you couldn't field a wide receiver. You couldn't field a roster.
Yeah. Well,
so that I think is the difference. And I think people forget about it's not about competitive advantage. It's nothing to do with that.
Baltimore has a really good shot at going far in the playoffs too, and the league wants that. So they're giving them all the time they can to really get the thing under control.
I disagree with that.
Well, I think the main reason is to, like you said, to slow down the spread, but I think the league wants Baltimore to go a little further too, and to give them every advantage they can to try to move along.
You know what the league wants? To get the season done in 17 weeks. That's the league wants.
Yeah, and it's come to a head now where they're, not in trouble, but it's spiking up a little bit. If they can get past this hump, I think they're home free, but we'll see.
Had nothing to. I'm telling you, guys. There's no conspiracy theory against the Broncos. Nobody gives a shit about the Broncos. They're gonna make the playoffs anyway.
Yeah.
All I'm saying here is, if they thought it was widespread and their contact tracing went that it was more widespread, there's no Broncos game. But there wasn't. They contained it within the room of the quarterbacks. Baltimore was not that lucky. I know, Tom and Neil, 3 other quarterback requests. If Denver was KC, game would be canceled. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. It is more importantly to get this thing done. D-O-N-E, done. They want to get through the season.
Yep.
All they want to do is get through this year as unscathed as possible so that next year they can have people in the stands. They don't want to go to week 18. They don't want to start rescheduling all this stuff in the future. They're trying their best. This is their Hail Mary. If they couldn't get this game done tomorrow, it's week 18. But for Denver, it was a small. If the entire offensive line had COVID, you're still playing the game. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're gonna get whoever they can out there right now. They're gonna, they have barely enough to start a game. They're gonna do it.
So Saints lead the NFC 9-2. Not a lot of offense in this game for either team, frankly. So again, I think the Saints are a little bit paper tiger here. I think they're very beatable. So we'll see what happens into the playoffs. The game that pissed me off because it took my parlay down. Just need a Rams win, motherfuckers. 29-20. The 49ers get a win. They go to 5-6. Rams 7-4. Mike, the Rams go and beat top teams in the NFC, Seattle and Tampa. Then they lose at home to the Niners. What's that tell you?
Could have been worse. Could have had your survivor pick.
Well, that was I wouldn't like that. The division game.
Rams fell asleep at the wheel. They should have put their foot on the gas in this game, but let the Niners creep back in, and that's what happens. Interdivisional home dog. Or actually, it was in LA. Listen, San Fran's got a, we talked about, Garoppolo not being there, Mullins being there. They let him back in the game. They shouldn't have let him back in the game. Rams should have went full steam ahead and just blew him out, and they didn't. They let him get back in this game, and that's what happens.
So, Joe, that's still on the table.
Yeah.
There still could be a week 18. But the difference is they don't want to use it unless they have to, because if you use it now, what happens if it happens again to the same team?
Yeah. I mean, the Bucs are going on a bye week this week. So,
yeah.
It's just crazy.
Week 13, right into the fantasy.
Week 13 are on a bye week.
So the Niners and John Suggs brings it up. So they're moving everything to Arizona now because of the Santa Clara ruling, no contact sports for 3 weeks. So we'll see, what happens there. They're not going to make the playoffs, and I don't think they can make the playoffs. I think they would need to win out. Not what
it'd be real tough.
Yeah. Are any concern though about the Rams here though? Like now that they lose this game, like do you look at them differently?
No, I think they're a very balanced team. I think they're the good team. I think they just got to play focused. They kind of lapsed a little bit. Who do they play this week, by the way?
The Rams?
Yeah. Because it could have been a trap game.
No. I mean, okay. The Rams are in Arizona.
Okay. Could be a little bit of a trap game. Could have been.
Well, look, to be fair, we all said Seattle wins the division because they have the easiest schedule. That does seem to be bearing itself out. So the only team of the three in the West that are contenders did win. They're the only team that won. Arizona lost and the Rams lost. That's big for Seattle.
Yeah.
Sunday night, massive destruction. Obliteration.
The score is not even what it was. I mean, they torched the Bears. I mean, it was bad.
Packers 18-4 against the Bears since 2010. Bears are 0-3 coming off a bye since under Matt Nagy, who needs to be fired.
Trubisky still stinks, by the way, too.
Of course. Matt Nagy get fired? Got to get fired, right? If you start the season 5-1 and don't make the playoffs, you got to get fired, right?
Coach of the year 2 years ago, wasn't he?
Jackass. Total jackass.
Well,
wasting the careers of excellent players on that defense. Wasting. Allen Robinson's pissed. He wants to leave.
Their offense stinks. Montgomery's not doing the job. They got no quarterback. It's terrible.
Suggs calling Rams by 5 at Arizona. I don't know. If Murray's healthy at that game, now if Murray's not healthy, I'm on board with you.
Well, that defense is a little suspect. So yeah, I could see that. Bounce back game.
So again, this is a first in the history of the show. We're going to preview Wednesday Night Football. 6-4 Ravens at the 10-0 Steelers, the first Wednesday night game since September of 2012. Listen, Pittsburgh's going to win this game because the Ravens are coming in hobbled.
I like the Ravens though because they need this game more than Pittsburgh does. They got to try to find a way to win.
Is Lamar playing?
I don't know.
Okay, then no.
Yeah,
it's not. If he's not playing, they're done. They're done.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't even know the spread in this game. It's got to be high though.
It was. I don't know what it still is.
Yeah. Probably was 9.5. I think.
God made the internet, so let's go see.
Yeah, I'm going to say 9.5. Maybe more. It might be double digits by now.
VegasInsider.com. Go get your odds. Vegas odds. Go a little quicker. It is 10.
10.
It's
a lot of points. I'll take the Ravens into 10.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Ravens 10 for Starbucks?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, either way, I get to go to Starbucks, right? So
that's a win-win.
So I don't lose that bet. There's no
you go lay 13.
I do owe is it late 13?
Yeah, because that Jonnu garbage you threw at me. I started Gesicki, by the way. So
yeah,
I needed it, but I won 110. I won 110 to 35 this week. So
yeah, I got a message from Tony that he wanted a hot chocolate. I said we can go. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that wraps up football for the week. Just a little couple of things just to touch on before we wrap up a long show for us. So the NHL still saying January 1st. Like, I don't buy it.
I don't buy it either. I don't buy it either.
You got to run a training camp. You got to run a preseason.
Yep.
There's
you're not going to do that in 3 weeks.
There's 7. You don't know where the teams are playing. You don't know what the realignment's going to be. You don't know anything. So for me,
saying end of January at the earliest.
What if I told you I don't care if they miss the season?
To get back on track, they might have to.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I don't want. Listen,
I would kill them though financially.
Call me purist. Call me whatever you want to. Okay, it's not a full season. No,
but financially, it's hurting them every day that they're out. So, I mean, it's not like the NFL where they're printing money.
Yes, they can.
They can. Yeah, they can.
Yes, they can.
Is it possible? I don't think so, but they can. Yes.
Which division team could win a playoff game? They're Washington because of the defense.
Yeah,
I think, and they're scoring points right now. I got to give him credit. Alex Smith, man.
Mm-hmm. Give him comeback player of the year.
And John Suck saying January 22nd. I don't see it. There's no January 1st.
The end of January at the earliest. Yep.
Well, I've said this no less than a dozen times. NHL and MLB are the most reliant on the gate. You got to have butts in the seats. And until they can get butts in the seats, it is financially a problem. They're trying to renegotiate a CBA they negotiated in March and April.
Yep.
May.
No, I agree. Yep.
Not going to happen. And honestly, like I said, I don't care if they miss the year.
End of January at the earliest. We could try to get Keith Jones on here to give his opinion. I'd like to do that maybe week.
Once we get some kind of like solidified time, I want to go over things with him because he was a great guest. I loved having him on. But like I said, I can't go a game anyway.
Yeah.
So what the hell do I care? That guy doesn't. It's dumb. Last but not least, it's coming up to bowl season with everything going on. I mean, do you foresee bowl games being shelved? What's your take here?
I think they're going to try to get as many as they can in, but there's also going to be 25% capacity at all these games too. I mean, whatever they can get in college football, they're going to try to get with these bowl games. I mean, they're canceling games every Saturday. There's multiple games being canceled. I know if Tony's going to rip me because Florida State canceled a game last week against Virginia when they canceled the week before against Clemson, 3 hours for the game. They're just trying to control the COVID too as well. But I think the bowl games are different. Bowl games are going to where they get their money, where the travel is, where all kinds of things are in effect. I think they're going to try to get as many bowl games as they can in. I don't know if they're going to get in all of them, but as long as they have sponsors for them, they're going to try to run them. And I know that I heard an update that San Diego is in rough or in heavy pursuit of Realmuto for the Phillies. JT Realmuto.
Who was in heavy pursuit?
Padres.
Yeah. So actually, a source did reach out to me with some news on that. Apparently, we're making some inroads with some people. And
we talked about this with Mike Velarde, but I think they're crazy not to sign him. But the Phillies. But
we'll talk about that in a second. They're going to be aggressive. Source indicated to me they're looking for a fourth outfielder, looking for catching depth, looking for a starter and a closer. So they're aggressive. And if you remember, their prospect system is vast, right?
Yeah.
So
they could trade some guys to get some guys.
Yeah, you could condense some of that. I mean, there's only so many spots for so many people, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's clear this up. The pandemic is not why the Phillies can't pay Realmuto.
Exactly. Yeah.
They are just cheap.
Exactly. They think they're the smartest people on the planet.
Nothing, not even a single percentage point. They were never signing Realmuto.
And they have money too, folks. They could pay him.
Dude, it's Philadelphia. I don't hear.
They dumped a ton of money into other areas, third base. So, how's that working out so far?
Here's to his point, though, to Tom's point. You're going to see teams like in hockey that have like internal caps they won't go over, and that may lead to some talent shifting spots. That I can.
One thing I don't agree with in baseball, and it is what it is that some markets can't pay. Like you got like Kansas City who can't compete with the Yankees, but it is what it is. I mean, that's the way baseball's set up. It's same thing with the Mariners. I mean, the Mariners have a good group of people that watch them out there, but they can't compete financially with some of these big teams. Listen, is it wrong? Morally, I think it is, but it's the way baseball's set up. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way it's set up.
These are my tears for you.
No, I'm not saying tears for me. It's just the way it's set up. I mean, it is what it is.
I don't believe in salary caps. Generally, I don't.
Listen, they don't make good moves anyway in Seattle, so it's a moot point.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
It's more of a farm team out there anyway.
But what I'm saying is if they have the money.
I'm going to start rooting for Tacoma. Yeah. Stick that hat in your ass.
I have other ones in case I do that.
Great.
John, 7 games already canceled. So, yeah. John asked, when Toronto's going to have games. So, my expectation for the NHL is to have a Canadian division.
Well, they can't get guys in Canada yet because the border's still closed.
All Canadian division.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Blow that team up in Seattle, too,
Steve,
by the way.
listen, the Mets, they're going to be legit, man. Money talks. Stevie Cohen. Listen, I'm a finance guy.
Someday they'll stop paying Bonilla.
I work in the financial industry. I've known who Steve Cohen is for 15 years, and that guy's got money. Okay, that guy's got money, and he's going to spend it. And Tom O'Neill, you damn right. I don't care.
Listen, it's the way baseball's set up. It is what it is.
Hold on. Here's what he says. He says, and he's true, right? So I am a Rangers, Yankees, Cowboys fans. We have the most money of any teams in the leagues. Spend it. The hell do I care? It ain't my money. I'm not
paying your money. Yep.
I'm going to go to a game. I'm going to go to my 5-6 games regardless, no matter what it costs. I'm going to go. I don't care. Spend the money. The Rangers spent more on salary 20 years ago than they do today.
Yep. I
don't hear it. You want to play? Look, listen. Too many teams, contract them. I don't care. BS. It's BS. It forces teams to make money. I don't care how much money you make. I love that. Oh, well, teams have to screw you. I don't give a shit. Spend the money. Go. Listen, if there was no cap in hockey, the Rangers payroll should be $150 million, and I don't care. It is not my money. Go spend it. Go win. I don't care how you win. Win. I want a goddamn parade and a banner. I want to buy cup hats and jerseys. Fuck. Who will the Kraken get? I don't know if Gerard Gallant's still available. He did this in Vegas. He'd be
Who cares? Kraken suck.
USA versus Canada.
I saw a guy in Hamilton come out of the liquor store the other day with a Kraken t-shirt on. I was ready to punch him.
Stop. You get so mad. Why do you get so mad?
Kraken? Are you kidding me? Bettman's an idiot. What? Bettman's the worst commissioner, hands down out of the four sports, the worst commissioner. Not even close.
You know what? Okay. Let me flip that on you. Where is the NHL right now financially without the $500 million they're getting for the Seattle Kraken?
Well, that's the thing. He brings team in because he gets money, but then the league gets diluted with all this bad talent. You have to spread out through the league. There's 4 teams in the league that shouldn't be in the league. How's Arizona doing? How's Arizona doing with a team?
It's not fair.
No, it's awful.
These are the tears I'm crying for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Be better, build a fan base, sell tickets, spend money.
All right. I just fire the people with that.
No, listen. My tickets in New York are $200 a ticket for a game for regular season. Because you go to Arizona for $5 and sit with the freaking mascot on the bench, I don't care. Like, sell more tickets.
I never said I was unhappy with this. It's the way baseball set up.
Won't put a fucking team in Arizona. How about that?
Wow.
Don't put a team you're not going to draw. There's more people watching the show right now than in Florida games.
Same thing with Seattle and hockey, and same thing with Arizona, and same thing with other teams down there.
Seattle's going to draw
for a little bit because they're new.
No, they're going to draw.
They're an hour away from Vancouver.
So who wants to go to Vancouver? Who wants to leave the country?
The Canucks have been there for years, and they've got fans up there.
You're right. That's why there's 3 teams in New York. Arizona can't fill one. Now, mind you, the Islanders don't draw and Devils don't really draw either because they're Rangers fans and so on and so forth.
I think they should try to put a team back in Quebec, but that's just me. The team in Ottawa, you don't need in Ottawa.
No.
Ottawa didn't work the first time, and how did the Atlanta team work out? How was it moving a team into Atlanta when the Thrashers were there? How did that work out? You didn't have the Flames there long. They went to Calgary, and then you bring the friggin' Atlanta team back to Thrashers, and they're gone again. Dumb. You move a team out of Minnesota to Dallas because they got a stadium thing. Yeah. Let's move out of the northern tier to go to the southern tier. It makes a lot of sense in hockey.
Dallas is just in the finals.
But yeah, now they are. I'm saying when they first moved. They should never moved Minnesota out of Minnesota to Dallas. That was dumb. Minnesota should have a hockey team.
Well, they do now.
Yeah. Had the San Jose Sharks make out or the Anaheim Mighty Ducks when they first moved there.
I mean, but you're talking about expansion in a different.
You don't need 3 teams in California.
They do okay. Yeah. California's a big state. I'm trying to figure out.
That means a boob.
So Dallas. Well, okay. Dallas moved from the Stars moved from Minnesota to Dallas for 93-94. They were in the finals and they won the cup in 98
because they had the Minnesota team there.
Hey, still won.
No. But the Minnesota team was up there. Should never moved out of there, and they shouldn't move they shouldn't have moved the Quebec Nordiques out of Colorado because they got a money.
There was a team in Colorado. There was a hockey team in Brooklyn.
No, they don't need one in Brooklyn.
They had one in Brooklyn. I mean, you want to call it a hockey team? I don't want to call it a hockey team.
Why don't you throw one in Vermont or Nova Scotia? That's all.
Can it draw?
You might as well, Batman. You're getting money. Just throw like 40 teams in the league. That's all. You keep getting money. You're a douchebag.
Listen, the Rangers are going to have some salary cap problems. We need that cap to go up. I don't care how they get there.
Bettman is an idiot.
Yes, I understand you don't like him. I
don't moron.
I don't like him either. But right now, that $500 million looks pretty smart.
Well, give him credit. With money, that's why, and they're putting another team in the league.
Michael, what's the point of sports?
Why didn't you put Canadian teams in there? It's their sport. Get Canadian teams in there.
They didn't want to put a
team. You need to see it in Quebec to get the Montreal-Quebec rivalry back together.
Don't have a building in Quebec.
They can get a building. If they were getting an NHL team there, they would get a building there.
You don't think they were trying to bid for one?
Well, I think Bettman's just douchebag.
You know where the money is.
No. Seattle doesn't need a team.
Well, they had $500 million. Said we'd like one.
Why don't you throw it in Portland next? You'll have a team there too. Portland would be a great draw.
Portland's got some problems as a general place.
Yeah, it's a third world country right now.
It's interesting. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, little OT on the show. Listen, it's always fun to go a little overtime, talk a little non-football.
Jackson Hole, Boise. You can get all these teams and get hockey teams. That's all.
I would put a team in Houston.
Get the Big Sky Conference. You can make Boise,
Houston,
Jackson Hole, Salt Lake City. You can throw all teams in there.
Houston could use a team.
Houston. Are you kidding me?
Kansas City's got a building.
Why would you put multiple teams in Texas?
Why not? It depends what you're trying to do. I'm just saying. I don't know. I get it, but like if look, Canada didn't draw when Quebec was there to begin with.
There you go, Joe. Joe's right. Put a team in Anchorage, or put a team in Barrow, Alaska. That'd be a good draw.
Where that is.
That's all the way up north, the very, very top.
I know where it is.
Yeah,
I know where it is. Yeah. Anyway, Michael, it's always fun arguing with you. Good show tonight. Want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at CrowdPlay. We love those guys. Check out the free app. It is totally free. And if you don't believe me, download it. And if you get charged anything, email me. I'll take care of it. Okay. It's totally free. I'm not even making that up. Download the app. It is free to play. You can win cash and prizes. Here is a little bit more information about our friends over at CrowdPlay.
CrowdPlay. Here it is. So another night, another fabulous, fabulous show as usual. And thank everybody for watching us. As always, we will be back next week. For myself, Hamilton, Mike Galletta, and Brian the Ranger Attard, this is Highly Opinionated. See you next week. Have a good one.
See you later, kids.
Thank you for watching the Sports Box. Follow us on Facebook at Sports Box Show, Twitter at Sports Box Show, Instagram at The Sports Box Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our friends at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 points. See you next time.